A man accused of murder is set to appear in court today. This as he faces separate charges for the stabbing of 2 local deputies.
And you probably noticed we have a lot of fog out there in northwest Arkansas. Dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. We'll talk about after that, though. A pretty beautiful few days coming up.
And we're out here at Baumwalker Stadium where people camping out for the last few days to get their perfect spot for that regional game for the Razorbacks. Stay with us. We'll have a live report with those dedicated fans in just a few minutes.
A live look in Ozark. Beautiful shot this morning on Friday, right? 5 News This Morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Thanks so much for waking up with us here today. Danny, we made it through an entire week. Friday,
Yes.
that weekend, oh, it's like I can see it.
I was going to say, you can see it, almost taste it a little bit. It's so close. We're also ready for it. Just got to get through today, and then things look pretty nice.
Yeah.
I said looks nice after this morning. Just got to get through the fog. We'll see
Yeah.
right now, again, that dense fog advisory is in effect until 9 a.m. this morning. Again, it is for areas along and north of I-40, but I think for the most part, it's the farther north you go, the more it is in terms of that dense fog. And we had those clear skies and light winds, a little bit of leftover moisture. And if you've been watching all morning, you're like, all right, Danny, I've heard it for the 15th time. You don't need to say it again. It's all right. It's like, you know, memory. It's like practice. Once you see that fog and you're like, oh, that's right, what Danny said. Anyway, if you take a look outside here, you're going to notice, again, look, Bentonville, you can't even tell it's Bentonville. Springdale, can't even tell it's Springdale. Fayetteville in town, not too shabby. The River Valley, look at these beautiful sunrises here in Fort Smith, Ozark, and Poteau. So, as I mentioned, those clouds help things out in terms of keeping the fog at bay in the River Valley. Down to 0 mile visibility, again, look at all of these in Fayetteville, Siloam Springs, and Bentonville. Pretty nice there in the River Valley at 10 miles. Again, that's the maximum you can go to. Eventually, this will thin out. It's not going to last forever with the sun up. Give it a couple of hours, especially after 8, but really by 10 o'clock, it'll be out of here. Then we'll have a beautiful day ahead. So for northwest Arkansas, temperatures will get into the low to mid 70s for high temperatures for today. And then in the River Valley, we're going to see temperatures get close to 80 degrees by this evening, so things are looking very nice there. And then, of course, you saw Tiffany out there at Baumwalker Stadium. You're going to notice first pitch temperature at 72 degrees, light wind, comfortable dew points. It is going to be gorgeous for us today. So it's very nice weather as we head into this weekend. Let's take a look at traffic here. As I mentioned, it is very foggy out there, so that could impact some travel. We're going to be looking at I-49 at Southeast 14th Street. You noticed, yes, a lot of fog there near the Bentonville area. So again, just be mindful of that in northwest Arkansas. As you're headed out the door, we'll have that complete weekend forecast coming up in just about 15 minutes. Joe?
All right, thanks so much for that. Well, this morning, the massive manhunt continues in Arkansas for convicted killer Grant Hardin. You'll remember he escaped from a prison on Sunday. Here's a look at some drone footage captured in the Calico Rock area. Authorities say they're having a hard time with the terrain there in the northern part of the state because of the river hills and abandoned structures, even caves. Authorities shared tips that they got of 2 possible sightings, one in Faulkner and one in Howe County across the border there in Missouri. Investigators are still looking into both claims, as well as searching the area where he was last seen in Calico Rock. Rand Champion with the Department of Correction told us Wednesday that they believe he could still be nearby.
North central Arkansas area is where the main source of the search is at this point. And a lot of that too is just double backing and double checking to make sure we're not missing anything in the immediate area.
They are now offering a $10,000 reward for anyone who could have information that could lead to Hardin's capture. We're also learning that investigators are looking into the possibility that Hardin used his kitchen job to escape. They say Hardin was housed in the maximum security wing, but he worked in the medium security kitchen. A prison security expert says they're likely investigating the kitchen job, and which they say may have gave Hardin access to parts of the prison, or if he could have helped him fashion that makeshift uniform he was wearing during the escape. Of course, we'll continue to follow any updates coming out of this investigation. You can find those today on our free 5 News app. In other news, a man accused of stabbing 2 Sebastian County deputies is expected to appear in court today, but not for the stabbings, for a murder. John Anthony Cole is expected to make a plea on charges for the death of Jeremiah Hawthorne back in October. He's also facing charges for the jailhouse stabbing of 2 deputies earlier this month. Both injured, one needed surgery following the stabbing. The murder trial for Hawthorne's death will be Cole's second. He was convicted of a murder in Arizona earlier this year and sentenced to 31 years in prison before he was transferred to Fort Smith to face charges here. One of the nation's largest pharmacy chains is suing the state of Arkansas. CVS is challenging a law that blocks pharmacy benefit managers from owning retail pharmacies. The company saying it's unconstitutional and discriminates against out-of-state businesses and limits access to medication. CVS says it may have to close 23 stores and shut down the online pharmacy. Supporters of the law say it will break up monopolies and lower drug costs. The Attorney General's office hasn't responded to the lawsuit. Well, a $1 billion lithium mining business in Arkansas is on the brink of moving to the next level. The State Oil and Gas Commission unanimously approved a royalty rate, and it was a request by Standard Lithium and its partners. It means that landowners in specific counties in southwest Arkansas stand to make hundreds of dollars a month, and companies like Standard Lithium millions. One expert says that this formation is full of lithium dissolved in brine, and now lithium will pay landowners in order to get it out.
There's water in the Smackover Formation, but the water that we have in Smackover Formation, especially in the southern part of Arkansas, there's an elevated of lithium concentration in the formation.
They say Standard Lithium pioneered an extraction method to get it out, which uses a small environmental footprint. This week's decision clears the way to raise the scale of that method. Happening today, Arkansas baseball will take the field for the Fayetteville Regional. The Hogs are taking on the Summit League champions, which is North Dakota State. The first pitch will leave the mound at 2 o'clock today. Well, Tiffany Lee is out there at Baum Walker right now where fans are gearing up for today's game. Tiffany, I bet they're super excited.
Yeah, not only are these fans excited, Joe, they are dedicated. Okay, so the game is at 2 o'clock today on this Friday, but they've been out here since Wednesday morning. I'm here with one of the most dedicated fans we know, Rick Bowick, a familiar face here on 5 News. And Rick, you were telling me y'all set up what time on Wednesday?
8 a.m. Wednesday morning.
And y'all been camped out ever since?
Ever since. We have somebody manning each canopy and each tent.
Okay, so we need to talk. Did you hear that? Go Hogs right there. We need to talk a little bit about this setup. We still got people that are sleeping here. We need to stay quiet for them. If you're wondering if you just saw a sleep pap machine, yes, that is dedication right here. And Rick, what are the kinds of things that y'all have out here at the campsite?
Oh my gosh. Well, margarita machines, tons of ice chests and stuff. We got TVs set up. We were watching NBA last night and hockey and college softball, so good times.
And so why do y'all do this? Like, what does the Razorback family mean to y'all to have this kind of dedication?
Everybody on this sidewalk pretty much, there's 15 canopies, tents here. Everyone on this sidewalk knows each other. We're all friends. We've been doing this all for several years, and so we get here early. We all sit in the same area, and it's just fun times to follow the Razorbacks and cheer them on.
And y'all are going to be out here all weekend, camped out.
Oh yeah.
And y'all are getting ready to cheer on the Hogs. We've got a lot of people out here ready to cheer on the Hogs. You made a little makeshift anchor desk for us over here at the campsite. Feel pretty honored, but we've got some friends over here that are going to come join us at the anchor desk, and we've got to end on a hog call, of course, right? But first I need to know, score prediction today.
10-2 Hogs.
10-2 Hogs. I like it. Okay, are you ready? 10-0. That's good.
Into the 7th.
I like that. We've got people yelling "Go Hogs" as they're driving by too. Alrighty, you're gonna lead us?
Heck yeah, let's
Here
go.
we go. Big City Razorback. All right, go Hogs. Back to you.
All right, that's a way to start a Friday right there with a hog call. Love that. All right, this afternoon, President Trump and Elon Musk are expected to hold a joint news conference on Musk's last day as a special government employee. Now, this as the president's reciprocal tariffs against other nations were restored by a federal appeals court. Jared Hill has more.
Charged with slashing through the federal workforce,
Ahead of his final day at Doge, Elon Musk not completely cut out of government. President Donald Trump on social media posted, "Musk will always be with us, helping all the way."
The entire cabinet understands the need to cut government waste. Surely the mission of Doge will continue.
White House officials have confirmed at least 2 other Doge staffers are also leaving their posts. On his way out, Musk sat for an exclusive with CBS Sunday Morning. In the conversation airing this weekend, Musk acknowledged he and the current administration haven't always seen eye to eye.
I don't want to, speak out against the administration, but I don't want to. I also don't want to take responsibility for everything the administration is doing.
He didn't elaborate, but one issue Musk has reportedly broken with the White House over, President Trump's tariffs, which are now back on. Wednesday, the U.S. International Trade Court ruled that the president didn't have the authority to use an emergency powers law to impose his sweeping tariffs against nearly every country on the planet. 24 hours later, a federal appeals court temporarily halted that tariff pause, though not commenting on the merits of the case.
We're even more confident that we're going to win in the end.
The White House says so far the dueling rulings haven't affected trade talks.
You will see a cascade of new deals coming out in the near future.
President Trump on social media last night called on the Supreme Court to step in. Jared Hill, CBS News.